Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you were absolutely certain a woman was into you, only to have her suddenly clam up and act completely aloof? Or perhaps you've caught glimpses of what you swear were flirtatious signals, but you just couldn't seem to get a clear read on whether she was truly interested or not. If so, you're not alone. Navigating the often murky waters of romantic interest can feel like a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, where even the slightest shift in a woman's body language or tone of voice can leave you wondering, does she like me, or am I just imagining things? The truth is, many women tend to be quite skilled at masking or downplaying their true feelings, often out of a desire to protect their hearts, maintain a sense of control, or simply avoid the awkwardness of a rejected advance. But just because they're adept at disguising their crushes doesn't mean the signs aren't there. You just have to know where to look. In this video guide, we're going to pull back the curtain and reveal the top 10 subtle and not so subtle ways that women often hide their romantic interest. Once you know what to watch for, you'll be able to spot her crush from a mile away. And who knows, it might just be the confidence boost you need to make a move. So, if you're ready to become a master of reading between the lines and deciphering a woman's true feelings, buckle up. This is about to get real. Sign number 1. Increased eye contact. One of the most telltale signs that a woman is harboring a crush is an increase in the amount of eye contact she makes with you. While some women may naturally be more prone to maintaining steady eye contact, a sudden uptick in the duration and intensity of her gaze can often be a subtle indicator of romantic interest. When a woman is attracted to a man, she'll often find herself drawn to locking eyes with him, almost as if she's trying to convey a silent message through her gaze, explains relationship expert Dr. Samantha Rodman. It's a way of establishing a subtle, intimate connection without having to verbalize her feelings. Pay attention to whether she holds your gaze for longer than usual, makes frequent eye contact during conversations, or even sneaks occasional glances in your direction when she thinks you're not looking. These subtle cues can provide valuable insight into what's really going on beneath the surface. Sign number 2. Increased fidgeting and nervousness. Another common sign that a woman is hiding a crush is an uptick in fidgeting, nervous habits, or general anxiousness in your presence. Things like playing with her hair, adjusting her clothing, or even stumbling over her words can all be subconscious tells that she's feeling a bit flustered or self-conscious around you. When we develop a romantic interest in someone, it can trigger a surge of adrenaline and butterflies that manifests in physical restlessness or discomfort, explains relationship coach Michael Fiore. Her body is essentially broadcasting her inner turmoil, even if her words and outward demeanor are trying to conceal it. Pay attention to whether she seems a bit more jittery or on edge when you interact, particularly if this is a new or recent development in her behavior around you. Subtle cues like this can provide valuable insight into what's really going on beneath the surface. Sign number 3. Sudden shyness or silliness. In a similar vein, a woman who is hiding a crush may also exhibit sudden bouts of shyness, silliness, or even outright avoidance in your presence. This can stem from a desire to protect herself emotionally, or simply a case of nerves and self-consciousness. Some women, when faced with a crush, will instinctively retreat into a more demure, bashful persona as a defense mechanism, says Dr. Rodman. They may become uncharacteristically giggly, flustered, or even avoidant, all in an attempt to conceal their true feelings and maintain a sense of control. Conversely, other women may overcompensate for their nerves by acting extra goofy, playful, or even a bit silly when interacting with the object of their affection. This can be another telltale sign that she's harboring a crush, even if she's not openly admitting it. Pay attention to whether her behavior around you shifts significantly from her usual demeanor. A sudden onset of shyness, silliness, or even outright avoidance can all be indicators that she's got a secret crush. Sign number 4. Increased social media engagement. In the digital age, our online behaviors can often reveal a lot about our hidden desires and interests. And when it comes to spotting a woman's crush, her social media activity can be a goldmine of clues. These days, many women will use subtle, or not so subtle, online behaviors to signal their romantic interest in someone, explains Fiore. Things like frequently liking or commenting on your posts, engaging with your stories, or even going so far as to create opportunities for you to interact with her online can all be signs that she's harboring a crush. Pay attention to whether she suddenly starts engaging with your social media content more frequently, or even goes out of her way to insert herself into your online activity. While it's important not to read too much into isolated incidents, a consistent pattern of increased digital interaction can be a strong indicator of an underlying romantic interest. Sign number 5. Subtle flirtatious behavior. Of course, one of the most obvious, yet often still hidden, signs that a woman has a crush is the presence of flirtatious behavior. This can take many forms, from playful banter and coy smiles to strategic physical proximity and accidental touches. Flirting is a woman's way of testing the waters, of gauging your interest and potential receptiveness to her advances, says Dr. Rodman. She may start with something as simple as a lingering gaze or a playful tease, all in an effort to see if you'll reciprocate and give her the green light to pursue things further. The key is to look for subtle, nuanced flirtation rather than overt, over-the-top displays. Things like playful eye contact, casual physical contact, and witty, teasing exchanges can all be signs that she's trying to signal her interest without being too direct about it. Sign number 6. Increased effort in her appearance. Another telltale sign that a woman has a crush is a noticeable uptick in the effort she puts into her appearance when she knows she'll be interacting with you. This can manifest in everything from more stylish outfits and carefully applied makeup to an overall sense of heightened grooming and attention to detail. When a woman is attracted to a man, she'll often subconsciously want to present her best self to him, explains Fiore. She may spend extra time on her hair and makeup, or even go out of her way to wear something she knows will catch his eye, all in an effort to make a good impression and boost her perceived attractiveness. Of course, it's important not to assume that every woman who puts effort into her appearance is necessarily doing it for the object of her affection. But if you notice a distinct change in her grooming habits or fashion choices specifically when she's around you, it could be a sign that she's trying to subtly catch your eye. Sign number 7. Seeking out one-on-one interactions. In a world where casual group hangouts and large social gatherings are the norm, a woman who goes out of her way to initiate or engineer one-on-one interactions with you may be hinting at a hidden crush. When a woman is romantically interested in a man, she'll often look for opportunities to spend time with him in a more intimate, private setting, says Dr. Rodman. This could manifest in everything from suggesting a one-on-one coffee date to finding excuses to linger after a group event has ended. Pay attention to whether she seems to seek out opportunities to be alone with you, or even goes so far as to create such situations. This can be a strong indicator that she's hoping to foster a more personal, romantic connection, even if she's not outright admitting it. Sign number 8. Increased curiosity and questions. Another telltale sign that a woman is harboring a crush is a sudden uptick in her curiosity and questioning about your personal life. This can range from subtle probing about your relationship status or dating history to more overt inquiries about your interests, hobbies, and future plans. When a woman is attracted to a man, she'll often become deeply fascinated by learning more about him as a person, explains Fiore. She may ask pointed questions, remember small details about your life, and generally show a level of interest that goes beyond casual conversation. The key is to pay attention to the depth and specificity of her questions, as well as the frequency with which she seems to pivot the conversation back to you and your experiences. If she's consistently diving beneath the surface and displaying a keen curiosity about who you are and what makes you tick, it could be a sign that her interest goes beyond the platonic. Sign number 9. Sudden mood shifts. Another potential indicator of a hidden crush is a woman's sudden, unexplained shifts in mood or demeanor when interacting with you. This can manifest in everything from unexpected bursts of giddiness or shyness to subtle changes in her tone of voice or body language. When a woman has a crush, her emotions can often be all over the place. One minute she's warm and engaged, the next she's cold and distant, says Dr. Rodman. These mood fluctuations can be her subconscious way of trying to manage her feelings and maintain a sense of control. Pay attention to whether her comportment around you seems to vary significantly from her typical baseline. Sudden changes in energy, affect, or overall demeanor, especially when you're the common denominator, can be a strong sign that she's concealing deeper feelings. Sign number 10. Seeking validation and approval. Finally, one of the more subtle yet potent indicators of a hidden crush is a woman's heightened desire for your validation and approval. This can manifest in everything from eagerly agreeing with your opinions to frequently asking for your input or feedback on various aspects of her life. When a woman has a crush on a man, she often subconsciously craves his validation and acceptance, explains Fiore. Even if she's not overtly expressing her romantic interest, she may find herself constantly seeking his approval, as if she's hoping to earn his affection through her compliance and deference. The key is to watch for patterns of behavior where she seems to prioritize your opinion or perspective above all others, or goes out of her way to align herself with your point of view. This can be a subtle yet powerful sign that her underlying motivations go beyond mere friendship or professional interest. As you've no doubt gathered by now, the signs that a woman is harboring a secret crush can be subtle, nuanced, and often highly context-dependent. What might be a clear indicator of romantic interest in one situation could be a complete red herring in another. The key is to approach this detective work with a discerning eye, an open mind, and a willingness to consider the full scope of behaviors and cues before jumping to conclusions. After all, the last thing you want to do is misinterpret a woman's actions and end up making an uncomfortable or inappropriate advance. That said, by familiarizing yourself with the top 10 signs outlined in this guide, from increased eye contact and fidgeting to sudden mood shifts and a heightened need for validation, you'll be well on your way to developing a sharper, more perceptive radar when it comes to detecting a hidden crush. Remember, the goal isn't to become a relationship Sherlock Holmes, obsessively scrutinizing every minute detail of a woman's behavior. Rather, it's about cultivating a keen observational awareness and an understanding of the subtle psychological and emotional drivers that can underpin a concealed romantic interest. With practice and patience, you'll start to develop an intuitive feel for the unique patterns and nuances that characterize a woman's hidden crush. And once you've cracked that code, you'll be in a far better position to navigate the delicate dance of mutual attraction and romantic pursuit. So, the next time you find yourself wondering whether that cute coworker or that charming stranger has a secret crush on you, take a deep breath, tune into the signs, and trust your instincts. The answers may be closer than you think. You just have to know where to look. The future is yours, my friend. Are you ready to become a master of deciphering hidden crushes and unlocking the doors to deeper, more meaningful connections? Start putting these strategies into practice today, and watch as the world of dating and relationships opens up in ways you never thought possible.